everyone. My name is AJ. I am a full-time UI UX designer, but I also design and build products on the side. I actually have my own product. It's called OneTap, and you can get OneTap on iPhone, iPad, your Mac, or on Vision Pro. And it's essentially a clipboard app that allows you to copy and paste things that you're always copy and pasting. So if you're a founder or influencer that's, sharing needs to share the links to your social media accounts, you can quickly do that with OneTap and it's ready available to share whenever you need it. So what I wanted to do is kind of share a lot of my knowledge that I've been gaining the past 7 years, teaching myself how to design and code, still learning how to code, but at heart, I'm mainly a designer. And what I wanted to start doing is creating, some episodes of designing actual UI. And I'm more of a minimalist designer. Not a lot of people like minimalist design. But when I design these things, these apps in particular, um, we're gonna start with minimalist design while following, pretty much classic design rules, right? So you'll be learning a lot too. And then if you're not so much of a minimalist designer, you can start adding your own flair to this. But as long as you start understanding the rules of design, you can pretty much have any type of, create any type of design you want. So I'm gonna get into it. I will say I'm gonna try and design a whole app with these episodes. So in this first episode, we're just gonna design, a user login screen. Then the next episode, we'll design in the sign up screen, and then you know, um, you know, build a home screen and all those types of things. So what we're gonna build is actually a to-do list app, minimal to-do list app. The reason why is because since I am learning how to code, I want to eventually be able to build this app myself using Swift UI. And what we're gonna and what I've been using lately is reminders, right? So I've been using reminders for a year now, and it's great, but there are some things that I wish I could track, like how many tasks I completed a day, how many tasks I completed a week, and other little things. So we're gonna start designing that stuff later in the course, but for now we're gonna start with the sign-in page. So what we have right now is a blank page in Figma, and if you want to quickly, add an artboard or start designing on an iPhone, you click A, you open up iPhone, and I always design on the iPhone 13 mini. And then it's because you definitely want to start with like the smaller screen sizes first and then moving up. Now, mind you, you could do the iPhone SE if you wanted to, but I just really like designing with the iPhone 13 mini. So, once you can cram your UI, or not cram, that sounds bad, but once you've designed your UI for the iPhone 13, it will be that much easier to then scale the design on bigger screens. It's harder to design on a bigger screen first, then scale down to, the iPhone 13 mini. You might see, some of your UI elements might be going off the screen if you started with larger screen size. So let's actually start with this, iPhone 13 mini screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some local variables to start as well. We have some in here already. Let's see if it allowed me to create a new collection. Perfect. To do app. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna create a variable, color variable, call this primary. We're gonna open this up. We're gonna make this like a 21222. I like that. Then we're gonna add another color, and we're actually gonna call this label secondary, and we're gonna call this label primary. And we're coming here. We'll probably adjust this once we get on the screen here. And actually, let's go ahead and make sure this works right now. AJ. And let's put this to like 18. Okay, so I'll put this here, put this under, zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to click this little rectangle here um, and see if I can just collection one. Okay, we can just type this in. Label primary. Okay. So I have label primary. So I have other collections in here. This is a pretty big file. Label secondary. Okay, how does that look? Might need to make this a little darker. Okay. Okay, perfect. Um, and you know what? I know I keep doing this. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna start with this. Start with the labels. Okay. Okay, so we'll close out of this, and then we're gonna delete this. I personally like using SF Pro font. Not a lot of people do. Uh, we've added some variables. We will add um, some variables for it should be colors. No, label colors. We're gonna add some variables for text as well. Um, but we will get to that. Let's start designing first. So what I like tend to do is I kind of oops, F. If you click F, you can start drawing a frame. So I like sketching out, some of this UI, and we're gonna put the primary. And I use like just basic boxes. You tend to want to have like 16 to like 25 pixels from the left and right border. From the top, I like doing at least like 60 pixels, because again we have this notch on the iPhone that you have to account for. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the logo of this app right here. And then we are going to increase this +3. And this is going to be a header. This is going to be a secondary label. Might be like this. We're going to make sure we're, I'd say 12 pixels apart from each other. Good spacing. Okay, perfect. Let's actually move this down like this. And, what I'll probably want to do next is add a input field here. I'm gonna make this 54. Make this like that. Just want to design this real quick. Um, it's probably gonna be like a light, yeah, like a light, yeah, something like that. And then I look at this. This looks a little too light. So I'm gonna go back to my local variables. I mean, too dark. Sorry. Increase the use. That's why. See, I knew it. Using the wrong secondary. Here it is. I'm using the wrong. All right. Okay. Pepper. And now, just to do app colors. That's what we'll name it. Okay, perfect. So now what we'll do, we're designing our input field. Okay. Um, so that's going to be email. It's going to be password. And then I'm going to come in here. We're going to make this really skinny. Make this like 80. Going to be forgot password. Then we're going to take this and we're going to make this primary because that's going to be our primary button. And then we'll come down here and we'll add this like text down here that's going to be like, hey, do you have an account? If you don't have an account, sign up down here. So, okay, so we got the basis of this down, right? So sorry if I keep, messing with my earbuds, they keep falling out. So this is going to be, rough sketch, login. Actually, I like this. Login, rough. We're going to duplicate this and we're going to get rid of this. Okay. And we will create the icon later, but we're going to add some corner radius to it, make it, 22. Get rid of this. Let's come out with a catchy header. I'm going to make this SF Pro, bold, perfect. It's going to be 28. Okay. Now, app name. Haven't come up with the name. Okay. Primary. It's going to be secondary. It's going to be 16. Regular. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a plugin called Lorem Ipsum. I think we should maybe reduce the sentence too much. Okay, that's perfect. Then we have our input field. So let's do 14 corner radius. Our password, same. Hey everyone, sorry, but my last video cut off. So right where we left off, we're gonna have the forgot password right here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna click T and we're gonna say enter email. Okay. And we're gonna make that 16 secondary. Okay. And then we're gonna say enter password. We're gonna make sure we're about 18 pixels. Sounds about right. Okay. And honestly, this should honestly, we're gonna want to disconnect this actually, and we're going to make this like a gray, dark gray, and we're gonna call this login. And we're gonna make this 22, 18 actually. Make this bold. Center that. Let's make it all caps again. Okay, and then if we got password, it's gonna come right between there. We gotta add an underline. I'm gonna make this a little smaller, like 12. We don't want that bulging out. And you know what? We'll handle different states. I think we should, you know, keep this black like this. Whoops. And I'm a sucker for shadows, so I'm gonna add some shadows. We're gonna move this up like this. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And let's add some more spacing, like 30. This should be like 16. 12's good. Okay. Still too much to make it 25. Okay, and then down here, we're gonna come down and say, already have an account, sign up here. We're gonna highlight this and make this primary. Um, and we're gonna unlink this, but highlight here and add it back. Oh, and we're gonna make this bold because we want this to really stand out. Yeah, perfect. So we haven't created a logo. We haven't created an app name or a little catcher here. Um, and honestly, I don't even think this should be a header. I mean, this should be the app name. I think this should be, actually, no, we can. We'll have the app name here. I'll think of an app name. Then I'll think of like a, 1 to 2 sentence that explains the app, the to-do list app. And we're just gonna keep doing this. As we design or go through the design of the app, we're going to keep the black and white and gray theme. And then we'll add colors when we're actually creating tasks to do or when we complete tasks or when we don't. So, because I don't want to overwhelm users with colors. So far we did the login screen. Hope you really enjoyed this video. We went through how to sketch some things and, how to create the initial login. And in the next episode, I'll add the logo, I'll add the app name, I'll update the copy here, and then I'll also go ahead and create, local variables for font sizes. So, and then we'll also go dive into components. So a lot to come. If you really like this episode, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe as well, and make sure you comment and let me know, what you enjoyed with the video, what we could do better, what I could do better, and I'll see you in the next episode.